Hello and welcome back. This is Vinchenz, and we're finally getting to make some Star Citizen videos again. The last patch was absolutely awful, and after going to CitizenCon, we got back and then we couldn't play for about a month, so that was a bit upsetting. After all the hype from CitizenCon, the servers were in a seriously bad state. So we're now playing the latest patch, 3.24.2, and the gameplay is looking a little bit more stable. There are still a few bugs, but it's a lot better than it was before. So here we are on our first ERT, and we're going to check out what kind of loot is dropping now from these missions and see how much money we're going to earn. So here we are testing our missiles. They are hitting the target, but they don't look like they're doing any damage. And the new HUD system with the little picture of the ship in the top right corner. It looks good, but it's definitely not as functional as the old system, and I much preferred the old HUDs. They used to give you a lot more information as to what components you were targeting, the name of the ship, and now you just get a sort of picture with everything saying unavailable. You do get these details if you scan the ships, but it's kind of difficult to scan the ships while in combat and to scroll up and down on the screens to see the different components or the different details of the ship that you're trying to target. So we're not too happy about that, and the functionality is definitely not user-friendly. They also say that the screens are fully customizable and whatever you set them on they will stay on, but in my experience they always reset back to their default screens, which is quite annoying. Anyway, so here we are scanning our first C2, and we're hoping for some good loot in this patch, so fingers crossed. So this first ship is a bit of a bust. We've got some medical supplies, one Altrusia toxin and one Quantanium. So you're probably looking at around 100k on this ship. We're not going to bother, we're going to move on. Next we've got the Hammerhead, which I'm sure will have its token Gasping Weaver Legs, 1 SCU. We're not going to bother going in there to get that. So it's time to head on to the second ERT. That was not the best start for ERTs in this patch, but hopefully there will be some good stuff on the horizon. So here is one of the bugs in the latest patches. I'm shooting at this ship, it's not showing any damage whatsoever, and that's because the ship isn't actually there. Here it blinks across the screen and it's now 1.2 kilometers behind us. But it's not too bad. As long as you use your lasers and stay quite close to the ships, I find that you can destroy them quite easily. So we've got 3 Starfarers and a C2 in this ERT. And we always like to scan the C2s because they're usually the ones with the best loot. So let's see what this one's got. So we've got 5 Slam and 2 Gasping Weaver Legs. Might as well go and grab that. We've got 225k's worth of Gasping Weaver Legs and 5 Slam, which I guess is around 70k. So we've got nearly 300k's worth of cargo right here. Close up the ship and we'll go and check the Starfarers. They don't usually have anything great on them, and sure enough, 1 SCU Quantanium, 1 SCU Altrusia, and a couple of medical supplies, so we're not going to waste our time with that. And I'm guessing it'll be similar for these other Starfarers. Yeah, not that great. Altrusia Toxin's only 3.5k per SCU, so we're not going to waste our time grabbing that. And the same with this one. Now we're on to the third ERT, and this is the final ship in this ERT, and it is a C2, so we're just going to scan the other ones first. The Taurus has got absolutely nothing in, and let's see what this C2's got. So 16 SCU of Bexelite and 10 Gasping Weaver Legs. That is a pretty good find. You're looking at around at least 1.3 mil there. So that's not bad for half an hour's work. 1.3 mil. This time we're going to get in the tractor beam turret, and we'll do everything from inside the Taurus. We are now flying the Taurus to do ERTs because, as in the latest patch, they've completely nerfed the Corsair, and it's just nowhere near as powerful as it was before. Still a great ship if you're going to have a crew on board with the number of turrets, and you've also got the gunner seat underneath the pilot seat now, which controls 2 of the main guns on the front of the ship, so it's still got all the power there, but you have to have a crew to run the ship properly. The Taurus, however, has still got some good pilot weapons, and it's got 4 M7As, which deal a lot of damage. So here's the next C2 in this ERT. We've got 40 Quantanium and 31 Altrusia Toxin. That is nearly 1 million of Quantanium, and the 30 Altrusia Toxin is probably somewhere around 180k. So we're going to rearrange the cargo bay so we can fit this big 32 SCU of Quant in. And I like to just let them attach on their own and then just slide them straight back. This is a 24 SCU of Altrusia, and that we should be able to sell at the scrap yards. We had trouble doing that in previous patches, but I'm hoping they have fixed that now. We're going to take all the little containers of Altrusia because we're heading to the scrapyard anyway, so we might as well take these at 3.5k per SCU. Every little bit helps when you're going to go and hand in, and it'll just bump up our totals a little bit. I am enjoying being back in the Taurus with the much bigger cargo hold, and the fact that you can load it from the front and the back, and you've also got the tractor turret. It is a really great ship for doing ERT missions. So we're just pulling into Seraphim station here, and we're going to go down and unload all the legal cargo, so the Quantanium and the Bexolite, and we're going to store them in our warehouse, and we can come back anytime, bring a load of legal stuff up in the lift, put it on a C2, head to one of the main cities and sell them there at the TDD. Unfortunately, the TDD at Orison is still not working for me, but we can go to Area 18, Microtech or Hurston, where it does seem to be working okay. So all legal stuff is going to come off here. I do have to unload a few bits and bobs just so I can get to this Bexolite, and that'll be the last container we need to put on the lift here. Now I'm going to restack all the drugs, get them ready, and we'll head down to a salvage yard and see how much money we've made. Quickly lower these down so they're saved in the warehouse. And now we can take off, and we're going to head to Samson & Sons in the Art Corp area. One good thing in the new patch is that the lights on the ship seem to be working again. This was a real nightmare in the last patch. We couldn't get any of the lights working on most of the ships. So to be able to see where you're going again is really great, especially in these dark side of the planets. The one thing I would like for the game is if they had some landing lights which would light up the ground below you as you're coming down, because even though it's got lights in front, it's still pretty difficult to see exactly where you're landing. So here I'm going to unload some valuable stuff. I'm going to get it on the lift and I'm going to send it down, and I'll do this 2 or 3 times just to make sure I get some good loot stored in before I get ganked by pirates or any of the AI NPCs. So that'll do for load 1. Just check the elevator's working, of course, as well before I start getting everything off, and it seems to be working well. There is something super satisfying about hearing the rumble of the cargo going down, and you know as those doors are closing, you've guaranteed your money. Here we'll get the last of the weaver legs off, and we'll quickly send that down just so that valuable stuff is stored in the warehouse. And then as the elevator comes back up, we're going to try and load this 24 SCU of Altrusia toxin. Straight away I can see it's going to lock in no problem. So that means we'll be able to sell these 24 SCU containers here at the scrapyards. I do try and place it sideways because the lift does look bigger this way, but for some reason it only wants to lock in the other way. Anyway, it's all good. Let's go and sell and see how much money we've made. Looking at the terminal here, I can't actually see the warehouse at Samson's, which is a bit concerning, and I'm wondering where all my loot has gone. So I check every one. But I do notice just at the end here that there is a little unnamed bit at the bottom, and when I click on there, sure enough, all my loot is there. So we've got 1.35 mil weaver legs, and we've got about 67k of slam, and there must have been one loose container, so we're going to get another 16k for that. And finally 30 SCU of Altrusia for 168k. Not bad, guys. That's 1.5 million in half an hour's work. So things are looking good for the ERTs in this patch. We have got more videos to come. We were doing ERTs all night and we did find a lot of good loot. We've also got a lot of Vaughn missions to show you with some great loot in them as well. So thank you for watching, guys. Please like, please subscribe to support the channel, and until next time, take it easy.